Okay, so it's safe to say that coronavirus has affected credit cards. And in this video, I want to talk about two ways that the coronavirus has affected credit cards, as far as the credit card companies and as far as the people that use credit cards, such as myself. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. But before we get started, I have a quick
message.
Welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Duane with How to Build Credit TV, and on this channel, we talk about everything you need to know about credit cards, and how to make money using credit cards. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, so coronavirus, COVID-19 has affected a lot of people. It's affected basically everybody that lives in the States, as far as I know, and clearly a lot of people within the world. So it has affected the entire world. But in this video, I wanted to kind of talk about, in two ways that coronavirus has affected the credit card game, because of course, this is very important. We talk about credit on this channel, and I wanted to make sure that I spend some time talking about this. Let me know in the comment section how you think coronavirus has affected the credit card game, as far as people getting credit cards and having their, credit limits maybe lowered. So I definitely want to know what you guys think about that and if that's an actual real thing. So one of the first ways that coronavirus has affected the credit game or credit cards is that a lot of banks are cutting people's credit limits in half or even lower. Now, in general, banks can do this whenever they want. That's the beauty in them having their terms and conditions. They basically can do anything they want. They can cut your credit limit in half, they can close your account, and I can attest to that because I had a Macy's credit card, which is just a store credit card. It wasn't like a Visa credit card. It was just a store credit card that I could only use in Macy's, and I had an $800 limit. At first, they lowered my limit from $800 to $700, and then they went ahead and just closed my card altogether. Mostly, I would assume because I really was not using the card. So that's not very uncommon for a credit card company to, lower your limit or close your account when you're not using it. But the coronavirus situation is a little bit different. And so, like I said, one of the first ways that coronavirus has affected credit cards and credit card users is the fact that they have simply cut your credit limit. And if you're somebody that's been in that situation, man, I'm sorry. I feel for you. It absolutely sucks because having your credit limit cut in half could affect your credit score. It doesn't have to, but it could, depending on how many credit cards you have, how many available credit limits you have, or what your credit limit is across all of your credit cards. So yes, it could affect your score negatively, but in general, I don't like to talk doom and gloom on this channel. I do that enough inside my head, so I definitely don't want to be talking doom and gloom in these videos. So like I said, and I think one of the reasons why the credit card company would be cutting people's credit limits in half is to protect themselves. It's definitely not to protect you because, they don't want to lose a lot of money. And so if people are going to be strapped financially, it's not going to be uncommon that a lot of people will be turning to their credit cards and using their credit cards to kind of fill in the gaps. A lot of people have been affected by coronavirus as far as their finances are concerned, and I really feel for those people. I'm just one of the lucky ones. That's it, that's all it is. I'm lucky. Just like some people are born into privilege and wealth, and those people are insanely lucky, versus others that are not. You're born into poverty, or you're just born into a regular situation. That's it. Those people that are born into wealth are just insanely lucky, and that's good for them. So like I said, it's not uncommon for the credit card companies to cut your credit limits in half, especially now, because they're really trying to cover themselves. They do not want people to go out and charge up the credit cards and not be able to pay them. They never want people to default when it comes to the credit card payments. They would not mind you charging up your credit card and paying on that card for 10, 15, 20 years, because the interest and also the amount that you have on there, if you're, in a situation where you're only paying the minimum payment, and your minimum payment is a substantial amount of money, boy, it's going to take you forever to dig yourself out of that hole. And unfortunately, some people never dig themselves out of that hole. There has been times in my past where I had credit card that I probably owed like $8,000, $9,000, and my minimum payment was like $200, $300. Clearly, that is a very high minimum payment, and that really sucks. You know, if I'm paying $300 as far as my minimum payment is concerned, maybe, you know, $50 might be going towards the actual balance, you know, and another huge chunk is going towards interest. So it sucks. The credit card company normally banks on that. They want you to be in a situation where you're going to be paying all this interest because that's how they make money. But in a crisis such as this, they want to protect themselves. And so I think it's a lot easier for them to, you know, just be scared or safe, right? And chop your credit limit in half. Now, the way I feel about it is there's not anything that you can do to really prevent this from happening, right? The credit card company is going to do what's in their best interest. And if it's in their best interest to cut several people's credit limits in half, mine included, then what can I do? You know, literally, there's nothing that I can do. I guess if you want to, you know, call them and ask, you know, afterwards, because there's really no way to be proactive about this. You can't call and say, hey, are you guys, you know, slashing credit limits? You know, don't slash mine, that type of thing. So you're going to be reactive in this scenario, and that's very unfortunate. But I guess it's better to maybe call them and see if you're in that scenario where they did cut your credit limit in half. Maybe call them and see, you know, if you can compromise with them. But it's just a very tricky situation. And, you know, coronavirus has changed the way that several things are going to be moving forward. And it's going to be interesting to see how we adapt to that. And I'm not even sure if there will be a true sense of normal or normalcy moving forward. But that's a whole nother subject. So the second thing that credit card companies and consumers like myself, that coronavirus has affected us, is that it may not be as easy to get credit cards. And once again, I don't want to talk doom and gloom, okay? I'm not saying that to tell you that you should not apply for credit cards during this time, but what I'm not going to be surprised about is if you apply for credit cards during this time and don't get a high limit, or maybe there aren't as good of sign-up offers, okay? I'm not telling you by any means to run out and get a bunch of credit cards. That's not what I'm saying, okay? So do know that credit card companies are really trying to protect themselves. And as a way to protect themselves, they're not going to give out high-limit credit cards during this time for certain people because they don't want to take the loss. It's very interesting to me that you can run up credit cards, you can have credit card debts, and you can use and abuse credit cards all day, and then you can file bankruptcy and not be responsible for your credit card debts. And you don't even have to pay them, which is like incredible. Like, America is awesome. It's so crazy. We have so many loopholes, and that's one of them. It's amazing to me that you could literally run up thousands and thousands of dollars in credit card debt and then file bankruptcy and not have to pay it. And then the crazy part is, after you're done with your bankruptcy, you can redo it. You can rebuild your credit, and if you want to do that again, charge up cards and then file bankruptcy, you could totally do that. I think that is incredible. That's so weird, but that's how it is. And you know, until they decide to fix that, that's how it's going to be. But I think, like I said, that coronavirus has affected the credit card game in a very bad way, in the fact that credit card companies are slashing people's credit limits, and in addition to slashing people's credit limits, they're also being way more selective who they extend credit to. So this, once again, the video is not about doom and gloom. It's just about kind of giving information. And let me know, like I said, let me know in the comment section. Let me know your opinions in regards to if you think this is legit or not. Do you think that, you know, this makes any sense as far as how credit card companies are reacting to coronavirus and also really trying to protect themselves from people that don't have any other way to get any kind of money other than their credit card? And so as a result of that, they may not be approving certain applications, and they may be slashing people's credit limits. Like I said, if this happens to me, there's nothing I can do. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't happen to me, then sweet, I'm one of the lucky ones. And you know, when you're one of the lucky ones, there's not anything that you did in particular to deserve that. You're just, you know, blessed. You're just fortunate. You just, God's grace is just, you know, in your corner in that situation. So that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I wanted to just make a quick video talking about, well, it's not going to be quick because it's like 10 minutes now, but I wanted to talk about how coronavirus has affected the credit card game, where the credit card companies are concerned, as well as the credit card consumers. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel quite a bit. Share the video with somebody that may find it helpful as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you don't miss future videos and updates. I do live streams on this channel, How to Build Credit TV, normally on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central. So be sure to join us on the live stream and get your questions answered in regards to credit cards, and how to make money using credit cards. Thank you so much for watching the video. Once again, my name is Duane with How to Build Credit TV, and I approve this video. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.